Welcome to Lipsticks and Lariats. Hey everyone, and welcome to the show. Are you a massive professional wrestling fan? Do you find yourself screaming at the TV, cheering for your favorite superstars, and analyzing every single match? But maybe you feel like the conversation is always dominated by the same voices. Well, get ready, because we're here to change the game. The all-female podcast that's flipping the script on wrestling commentary. We are friends who live and breathe everything from this squared circle. We're talking about the high-flying action, the epic promos, the shocking heel turns, and the drama that happens both in and out of the ring. From the independent scene to the biggest pay-per-views, we cover it all. Each week, we dive deep into the latest news, review, recent shows, and give our unfiltered opinions on the biggest storylines. We're not afraid to get passionate, have a laugh, and maybe even disagree a little. We'll break down match psychology, celebrate the incredible athleticism of these performers, and share our predictions for what's coming next. We also love to shine a spotlight on the women's division, celebrating the progress and pushing for even more. So, if you're looking for a fresh, fun, and fiery take on the world of wrestling, you've found your new home. Don't miss out on a single episode. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and get ready to talk some smack with us.
Welcome to Lipsticks and Lariats, episode 13. I don't know if that's good or bad. Could be lucky 13, could be bad 13. We'll have to see how it goes. The podcast where the takes are sharp, the sarcasm is free, and the only thing more dramatic than professional wrestling, the internet arguing about professional wrestling. I'm Catherine, aka She Hates Women's Wrestling, with my tag team partner, the lovely Nikki from the bar, and today we are diving into the world of sports entertainment, wrestling, as it's called in other promotions. We are breaking down some stories, debating some hot takes, and maybe questioning some booking decisions, which is basically a tradition at this point. So, I need you to grab your belt, grab your snacks, and maybe keep that good sexist friend nearby, and subscribe to the podcast and the home of Lipsticks and Lariats, the weekly steel chair. So, how you doing today, Nikki?
I am good. It is hot. It's finally feeling like summer, and I hate it.
Yeah, it's just like 93 here today. And instead of going out to lunch after church, I was like, I want to come home. I had some steaks that my mom gave me. I was like, I need to grill them before they go bad because you know how much steaks cost in America.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
I was outside in the sun because my grill is like right there where the sun hits, grilling steaks for lunch today.
Oh my god, it's so fancy. Steak for lunch. Love it.
So, our first segment is our top rope segment where we discuss some news and headlines. I don't know if you've seen this flying on Twitter or X, but evidently the American flag that flies on top of the WWE headquarters in Stanford flew off, hit a power line, and caught fire. Can we say karma?
I did see that, but I was just like, I immediately laughed because it's hysterical, but then I was just like, oh no, like someone's power went out or someone got injured, but apparently like no one got. It's just the flag caught on fire, and I was like, oh boy, like seems like typical WWE.
Maybe.
Like who's not anchoring their flags, or who's like, you have one job, guy.
Flag guy, you had one job. So, it seems that the WWE brass do not view Ilya Dragunov as a top guy and more of an interchangeable mid-carder.
That hurts my heart. I don't know how you don't see him as a top star. I need it to make sense. Like, have you looked at, like, I think he's got the look. I think if he actually is allowed to talk, I think he's good in the mic. Obviously, all those matches in NXT UK were incredible. Like, what are you not seeing?
I don't know. Like, I really enjoyed his match with Walter. He was Walter at the time.
Yeah.
I know some people didn't really care for that match. They were like, "Oh, y'all told me to go watch this match and it sucked," and I was like, "Well, I actually thought it good, and I'm not a big WWE fan, but I mean, yeah, he's kind of a mid carder, but I could also see him being one of the top guys and holding your title, or maybe just being like your temporary title holder if you're not sure,
Yeah.
or if something happens to like one of your big guys."
Like, even the matches that he had with Carmelo, and I was like, you don't, like, I don't think they let him go like he can go. But if you didn't like that match, then I'm like, okay, I don't know. It makes me really sad because I was like, oh, he should have the belt and push him, like, you know, when he finally came back in what, last September? I don't know time, but it was like he finally came back, and I was like, yes. And then I'm like, then he really hasn't been on screen. And then he was feuding with Mello, and now he feels like off screen again. I'm like, I hate it. So
it seems like the WWE shareholders trial was removed from the court document, which was supposed to start on Monday. And according to Brandon Thurston, evidently both parties have reached an agreement in principle. So now they're just waiting to present it to the court for approval.
I'm not surprised. Do you think WWE or TKO or whatever is going to throw as much money as they can to sweep this under the rug so they don't have to? You don't want Vince McMahon on the stand.
No, and you already had some things go not
wrong.
your way from the judge. I mean, the judge approved like unsealing documents
as like canon, basically.
Called y'all out for deleting information.
Yeah, so
I think they settled.
Yeah, they're going to throw any amount of money so they just doesn't have to go to court. You don't want Vince McMahon on that stand. You don't want him talking in public at all. Throw all the money on it to make it go away. Not surprised.
Would you be in support of TNA if they got out of their partnership with WWE?
I don't think it affects me either way. I try to keep up with it. I honestly don't. I want TNA to continue to be a thing because like all the boats, all the ships, all the things. I don't know. Is too much damage been done already with this partnership?
Well, I mean,
like I don't know. Again, I think of our leader Reese here that like was such the wave the flag for TNA, and now it's like doesn't give a shit about it now. Like, what do they have to do to get that hardcore audience back? And I don't think maybe cutting ties, because it's definitely been thinned. It's not as hardcore as it was like I guess a year ago at this point. But like I don't know, they have to do something pretty dramatic to get people back, and I don't think it's just like, oh, we're not friends with WWE anymore.
Well, speaking of TNA, evidently Steve Maclin asked for his release and it was granted, but if I'm not mistaken, didn't they just offer him a contract extension? But 3 weeks ago, evidently, he called Carlos Silva a cock on TV.
Love that. I don't know about the contract thing. I just saw that he was released, and I'm like, good for him. I think I was so excited for him to like leave WWE and to kind of like make this be Steve Maclin, and I think he had a great run in TNA. But I think now it's time for him to do something different. I don't know if like AEW is a landing point or if he goes to New Japan. I don't know if WWE would be right for him. I feel like he might get lost in the shuffle, but wherever he's happy. Wherever Deanna's at. But I guess she's also in AEW. They're not doing shit with her either.
So how excited are you that SmackDown will be going back to 2 hours on June 26th?
I think we're all going to hold hands and chant and scream and say yay. God, I can't even watch it. Like after the podcast, I didn't put something else on and like I'll watch in the morning so I can like fast forward through it. It's just like, it's just painful. And it shouldn't be painful. Again, I think 2 hours is like the perfect TV show. And I'm just like, well, you get to 3 hours, but you're not filling it. I literally, when I was watching it yesterday morning, they had like the segment, like Cody Rhodes takes whatever family that won to Universal. And that killed like 10 minutes. was like, well, put Ilya on TV. Give me something else that you can put in a match or a segment. You're just filling time with bullshit.
Yeah, that is true. They do that.
So I'm ready for back to 2 hours. Thank you, Braun Strowman, and your food show.
Right? So, after that 360 from the top rope, it is time for me to hit that hot tag where we have some topics to debate. So, first topic. Do you think WWE is allergic to strike on talent when the iron is hot?
Yes. I think we can probably name a bazillion people. I think right now number one, because I think he was just on Chris Van Fleet, obviously LA Knight, doing like he was so 2022, 2023 did nothing with. I feel like our leader Chelsea Green, they're doing nothing with her. I feel like there's so many people that like are organically getting over and getting cheered by the crowd, but it's like not what they want to do. So like, nah.
Well, it seems like they have their one or two top guys, and that's it. That's all they're going to push. Everybody else is like gutter trash.
Basically, again, if you're feeling all this hours of content, why would you not? If this person's getting over, then why not put them on the TV? Like, I need that Danhausen has one little segment a night, and he's selling 4,000 bajillion T-shirts. Like, if you give people time and let them their personality show, then like they can be stars. Like, I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me.
I will have to say I do appreciate Danhausen because last night during the hockey game they showed a video of him in Vegas cursing the Canes, and I was so happy because I have never liked the Hurricanes since they moved to Carolina. So I am rooting for Vegas to win the cup.
Yeah, and well, the whole thing with the Knicks, like Knicks a Knicks fan, obviously you got to support our Knicks. And there's WB has so much merch with the Knicks and Danhausen, and apparently if it's still there, but they had the Knicks jersey that said Danhausen, and like they raised it at the MSG. So it's just like.
So now that Chad Gable has been unmasked, what do you think they need to do with him now?
Well, he was flirting around on SmackDown. I would put him. I want like a belt on him. I think like you can't have him beat Penta at this point. And they're pushing Trick, but I was like, I need something. Like, I feel like he's so goddamn good, and they never really did anything with him. And then this whole thing happened. I want them to push him again. He had that like crazy match with Gunther, right? Was it Clash? No, not whatever Clash it was. That they had the match with Gunther, and I was just like, man, I just feel like they don't utilize him as they should.
But we said make him the AAA Mega Champion. Well, anybody would be better than Dominic.
Well, I think Dom's gonna drop it to Ludwig in Vegas, and then Ludwig's gonna defend it in Mexico and retain against whoever. Because I think after that match, how do you not put everything on Ludwig ever?
Yeah. All right, moving on. We're going to talk about one of your favorites, Seth Rollins. And does he have a point? So, he blasted Roman Reigns as Reigns claimed that he was elevating the World Heavyweight Championship, to which Seth Rollins says that's total BS.
Well, I agree with Seth, but agree. I guess we have to see. I think I want to.
I think when they brought the title back, and Seth was the first one to win it when they brought it back or created it, it was already elevated because Seth was one of your top stars.
Right. It's so, like, really
I'm not sure if Reigns' ego is so big that he don't know what to do, and he just says shit to piss people off.
I think that, and again, there's also the rumor that Seth's going to win King of the Ring and then face Roman at SummerSlam. That's one of the rumors going around. So is this just planting seeds that like, oh, Roman said this and Seth said this, and then it's going to just build and build and build until, we get to August.
Maybe.
I can't stand Roman Reigns, so.
Well, we know who you were pulling for anyway. Anybody but Roman Reigns.
Basically, that's my philosophy in life. Anyone but Roman.
It seems that kicking out of finishing moves multiple times is a problem across all wrestling promotions.
Yep.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. It depends. I think it depends on the match. I think it depends on the people. I know there's a criticism of the mass versus mass match. That I feel like I'm a little more like when it's that high stakes, when it's this right, when it's a hardcore rivalry, a hardcore stake, and they're just like two of the top people and they're trading back and forth, and I feel like it makes sense. But then I have so many examples that it is the top caliber people, but that it feels too much. So I don't know. It depends on the match, because I definitely there's matches I'm like, oh, it's fine, and there's matches like, oh my god, hated it. But it's definitely relied on a lot. But I think it's like the oh my god factor, and I think you have to walk that fine line of it's like, oh my god, I can't believe he kicked out, between like, well, of course he kicked out. We know there's going to 10 minutes left of the show. We got to get to, there's 10 more minutes of this match. This is not the end. So I feel like it's got to feel more real. If that makes sense.
Yes. That was the one nitpick I had about the mass versus mass match. I thought overall it was good. It was just so many kickouts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just AAA, it's not just WWE, it's across all wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And I get, we got time to kill. You got to kick out of this. Why?
Because on the other side, it diminishes your finishing move.
Exactly.
Like Nick says this all the time. Cody hits Rome Crossroads. That doesn't win a match anymore. He's got to hit like a bajillion of them now. Like it kind of feels like that diminishes the Crossroads at this point.
And I think the only finishing move I have seen that hasn't been spammed, kicked out of, is Omega's one-winged angel.
Yeah. Again, I feel like
they really protect that move.
Yeah.
And I think there was somebody that kicked out and won on it. Maybe Takeshita, I'm not sure. But it was somebody, and then you could see where it was going. Okay, it made sense.
Yeah, and it's like an oh my god moment.
But he didn't do it 5 more times. I think he did it maybe 1 more time and pinned the guy. Right.
I feel like I'm picking on Cody, but I was like, a Crossroads means nothing anymore. It means nothing to me. Because
you can pick him all you want, because I'm not a Cody fan.
But it's just like, I'm trying to think of again, I think your Kenny Omega example is perfect. I'm trying to think in WWE, what's a finisher that feels sacred or, protected. I can't think of one.
Like the last one I remember in WWE would probably be the Tombstone Power Driver from The Undertaker, maybe?
Right. And then we talked about, was it last week or the week before, we were talking about Baron Corbin and his moves, there was a while that no one kicked out of those.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, nothing feels protected. Like the Superman punch, even Seth Rollins stomp, and then Triple H's move again, growing up as a huge Triple H fan, a pedigree is just a transitional move now.
Yeah.
So it's just well, that's gone. And how many championships did Triple H win with that?
When Shawn hit that super kick, you were getting pinned.
Yeah, but now everyone and their mom throws a super kick. Again, the super kick, the spear, you know how I feel about the spear. It's just it doesn't feel, and there needs to be a little bit of protection there, because it's all right, well, you hit that move, I know they're going to kick at it too.
Moving on. Would you have used the terms neutered and domesticated in regards to Jacob Fatu having to acknowledge Roman Reigns?
No. Spoiler, my Lariat. I hated it. I hated everything about this. I hated the segment. I hated Michael Cole on comms. Everything about this felt so wrong. And bye, Jacob. Your push is I don't want to be like Nick and be buried, but it's oh, it's not a cute look. It's not good.
It seems like they have an idea in their head. Okay, he was getting momentum, so we've got to take him down a few notches, and then we'll build him back up in the way we want him to for the fans to like him, and then the fans may or may not like him.
Yeah, now I'm just like, I don't, nope. I hated it. Hated everything about it. Hated it.
Is the fact that 6 years later, WWE is still focusing on the bloodline and closing most shows with them. Is this a problem, and does a real conversation need to be had about it?
Again, spoiler, my Lariat. I feel like we're going backwards. We're back in 2023, 2022. Like, I don't care. I don't want to see this. This is not new. It's not fresh. It's still like Roman being at the top. You have Jimmy who looks like a bitch, and then like Jey Uso, sort of like the right hand man. I'm like, why are you not going back after your championship? Like, why you were like main event Jey, you went on this whole run, and then like now you're just again Roman's bitch. I don't understand it. I hate everything about it. Like they need to like do something new, and it's like there are again Jey could be your star. He should have beat Roman, should have had his own thing going on. And it's like, we're just reverting back to something safe. And it's like everything WWE now is just safe.
Do you think pro wrestlers are lazy in this era? Meaning heels can't even do their job anymore as they forgot how to get reactions without cheap heat.
No, I think that's a strong word. Like, because I think like this feels more like a WWE thing than like an AEW thing. Because I feel like, obviously you got MJF. I feel like heels can be heels there, and I just feel like in WWE they get just kind of hampered by creative and be like, you have to hit these 3 marks, and one of those marks is like shitting on the city.
Do you think that they're hampered in WWE because they want it so kid friendly, PG?
Mm-hmm. I think that's a factor. Again, because I think there's I don't know. Maybe I'm the wrong person because, like, again, feral child growing up in the Attitude Era, like, we heard all sorts of shit. Like, I don't know. I think there's again, maybe you as a parent have to parent and be like, if they do say something a little more risque or, whatever, that, like, you tell your kids, like, this is a show, like, they're, acting or whatever you want to frame it and not kill maybe kayfabe for them. But, like, I don't know, it's just too safe. And I get that they want sponsors and you have to have all their, logos on everything. But I'm like, man, there's a line that I feel like they're not crossing anymore or trying to tiptoe towards it. Mm-hmm. But I don't need like McAfee coming in and be like, we missed the Attitude Era. Like, I don't know.
I was actually in a space one time and they were talking about that, about how parents won't let their kids watch AEW because it's so bloody, gory, language, whatever. And I'm like, that's the job of the parent. So if the parent deems AEW too violent, then that's their choice.
And that kid's gonna go find it. Like, again, feral children.
Or as I said, I would rather have my kid watch it with me, and I can explain it to them what's going on, instead of them maybe being at a sleepover with a friend and their friend watches it. Their friend's parents are more lenient.
Yeah.
And then I might not like the way that parent explains it.
Yeah. I think that makes more sense to watch and explain. Or you have your kid, like, we were waiting up till 1 a.m. watching ECW shows, and that was all craziness. Or I'm sure they all have phones now. Like, I didn't have a phone until I was 16, and now, like, our 8-year-old niece has one. I was like, I don't understand this. I paid for my phone. You just get one now. But, like, they're going to find it. So why not be, like, proactive and be like, this is, I guess explain it better. Again, if you how kayfabe you want to be, but I don't know. Just put wrestling on. I just always watch wrestling, so like I don't know. I'm a feral child.
Is there a problem with today's WWE as they have a bunch of mid-carders and not enough main eventers? And does the horrible booking, does it not help them?
I think that's the problem. I think they do have stars. But again, Daly is a great example. I think he's a star. I think you can push him. But the powers that be, think that these people aren't stars. So I think you can have a deeper upper tier,
So
roster
like you
card.
could have like your Roman, your Cody, your Seth,
Yeah.
your Gunther. Those be like your main guys.
Yeah.
And then next level you could have your Tricks, your Carmelos. I hate to say this, your Sami Zayn, your Braun Breakers. Those guys that are going to be, especially like Braun, Trick, Mello, they're going to be the guys that take over when Cody retires, when Roman retires, when Seth retires.
Yeah.
So those could be like your next main eventers, and then have your mid cards.
Yeah.
But it's like they have Cody, Roman, and everybody else mid card.
Yeah. And it's so like they have such a roster, and like our Ethan Page, like Penta, like these are people that I can see being world champion if WWE wasn't so like, now they're not Roman Reigns, blue, 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 blue. Like, I just want to strangle them. It's like, you have the talent. You paid for this deep fucking roster that you're not pushing, that you seem like, oh, well, this guy is, just down here. I'm like, well, you're paying these, you bought these people. Use them.
And our last topic for this segment: is it time to stop with the narrative that this should have been on Dynamite instead of Collision? I mean, we are in a world where streaming exists, so you can go watch everything anytime. You can always find it on social media.
Mm-hmm.
So when should this narrative stop?
I think that's the it should stop, but they need to do something that makes Collision not seem like the B show. Like, it's not Rampage, it's not Dark. Like, this feels like it should be like, they're SmackDown. Not that SmackDown's any good, but this is your other show. Like, it shouldn't feel lesser than, and I feel like sometimes it is. And it shouldn't be, but
my issue is, it's not like it's only on, like when we grew up, if you missed it, you missed it.
Yep.
So instead of bitching about, well, I needed this on Dynamite because I don't watch Collision, that's your fault.
Yeah.
You know Tony Khan intertwines both of those shows. So something on Dynamite may carry over to Collision and vice versa. So you have to, which is smart in a way, because that means you need to watch both shows.
Yeah.
It's on HBO Max. You got a subscription. You can go watch it when you have time.
Yeah.
I just think the narrative is very low hanging fruit just because you hate AEW.
Yeah, and I don't understand the tribalism. I like both promotions. I want both promotions to be good. I want creative stories for both of them. I want jobs for everybody. I get all the boats, all the ships. Like, I want pro wrestling to be good across the fucking board. Like, I don't understand people are like, I don't watch this, I don't watch that. Watch it all. Enjoy it all. And if it's not for you, then don't watch it. Don't yuck someone else's yum.
Okay, that was a great hot tag over some great topics. So now, Nikki, do you have a nitpick this week that I get to theorize?
We're cast back to Italy. It's like they focus on a trope, and then every single match and every single thing has to be about this. Apparently now we're into feet shit and like hate feet, and it's like, oh, Cody Gunter, his foot was under the rope, he shouldn't have counted, blah blah blah. And then the next match is like B-Fab is supposed to move Jade's foot, fucked that up, and then Charlotte comes out of nowhere, and then helps Rhea win with the foot thing, and I'm just like, and then was it last week or was it 2 weeks ago? Vision Street Profits, and then Heyman put, I think it was your boys, foot on the ropes. I'm like, all right, you just rediscovered this trope. Great. Don't do it 4,072 times. Definitely in back-to-back matches. And it was the quote-unquote baby faces, sound like my husband, that won because of the the foot shit. I don't. There's so many things out there, so many different ways. I get you wanted to keep the belt on Cody. You could have done it something different. Or if that's how you're going to do it, then you need to do something different with Charlotte and Jade. And if you wanted to do the foot thing, then you should have separated the matches better. It was like back-to-back foot crap, and I hate it.
So what we learned and what I theorized is Nikki does not have a foot fetish.
I hate feet. I don't want to see anybody
But
else's
I
feet.
agree. If they use the Gunther's foot under the rope to continue the story, that's lazy booking. Then you do it again in the women's match. Then you do it again.
It's the same thing back to back, and it was just like, there's so many other things you could have done. And I feel bad for shitting on BFAB. I really do. I feel like that poor Pickle tries, but I was like, girl. Again, you had one job, foot person. You couldn't do it.
Oh, Lord. All right. So we're going to move into the segment called Kat's Lecture on Why This Is a Great Idea. I'm not sure if this is going to be a great idea, but the title of today's lecture...
Don't you dare say Sammy Guevara. Don't you dare say Sammy Guevara.
Go back and watch last week when she goes, how Sammy should be champion.
Listen, you just wait. It's called Hold My Meltzer Rating, Why AEW's Wrestling First Philosophy Works. So no, it's not about Sammy Guevara, but I could put him in here if you want me to.
Oh, don't tempt her. Don't tempt her with a good time.
I don't know why he hates Sammy so much. Anyway, one of the most fascinating developments in modern American professional wrestling is the success of AEW's decision to prioritize in-ring performance as its central identity. While wrestling in the U.S. has traditionally balanced athletic competition with entertainment and character-driven storytelling, AEW has demonstrated that audiences still value wrestling as a sports-like spectacle. Did not even think we could get back there. AEW's philosophy, it differs from many previous mainstream promotions, WWE, because it frequently allows matches to serve as the primary storytelling mechanism, not having to be spoon-fed with vignettes and promos. And wrestlers are giving time to develop narratives through athletic competition, technical skill, and physical drama, rather than relying exclusively on scripted promos and elaborate backstage segments. This approach draws heavily from the traditions found in Japanese professional wrestling, independent circuits, and classic territorial wrestling, where a wrestler's credibility was often established through performance, guess, inside the ring. The success of the strategy is reflected in AEW's ability to attract a dedicated fan base seeking a more sports-oriented presentation. Matches featuring performers such as Omega, Bryan Danielson, Will Ospreay, and it kills me to say this, Hangman Adam Page, have received critical acclaim because they emphasize athletic excellence while still advancing their larger character arcs. Fans become invested not only in who wins and who loses, but also how competitors overcome adversity and demonstrate their resilience. Importantly, AEW's model works because it's a complement rather than replacing storytelling. Great matches are most effective when audiences understand the stakes and emotional context behind them. AEW has shown that American wrestling fans are willing to engage deeply with long-form narratives that unfold through competition. Ultimately, AEW's in-ring prioritization succeeds because it treats professional wrestling as both athletic performance and dramatic storytelling. By trusting the audience to appreciate the art of wrestling inside the ropes, AEW has carved out a unique and influential place within the landscape of American professional wrestling. So now, after my lecture, It is time for some lipsticks and lariats. So, Nikki, what you got for your lipstick and lariat of the week?
Well, I love this there's a slight segue. I know it's not AEW focused, but I know it's a week old at this point, but we didn't talk last Sunday. But I am doing the first match. Grande versus Grande, Ludwig versus Chad Gable. I think it's WWE's match of the year. I think it had the story, the emotion, the wrestling. Again, these are two technical wrestlers that don't get to necessarily or have not been able to shine on quote unquote main roster. And I just think it told an incredible story of something that was supposed to be such like a joke and kind of like an FU to Lucha Libre that turned into something so serious. And like, I think all the credit to Ludwig of immersing himself in the culture again. Like, he is so goddamn over with that crowd. I don't know how they don't put that belt on him in September. That would like boggle my, unless he gets arrested for whatever happened in the
or gets hurt. He should have that belt.
He should have that belt. And I think him and Dom would actually have a really good, fun match in Vegas. And I think, again, he should go to Mexico and defend against whoever. I think him beating up Vikingo would make that Mexican crowd very happy. But I probably watched that match like 4 times at this point, and I adore it. I love it. If you have time, go watch it. If you haven't, I hope this springboards both of them to something better. I'm worried about Chad Gable, but it's like he's so good. Do something with him. But I love that match.
I would have to agree with you. It's probably, and it's sad to say, that's WWE's best match of the year. And it also kind of got like the American audience into Lucha Libre.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, as much as we criticize WWE, that's a praise I'll give WWE. You've got more American fans into Lucha Libre, even though they may be trying to WWE size it.
Because Mikey, who calls into our show, is like really watches. I don't know how his brain does it, but I was like texting him. I was like, whatever show was like, who's this tag team? I think they're supposed to be heels, but I love his mask. It was like whatever it was, and like Mikey was like trying to explain. So it's like I think it is sort of like a gateway. I know they're trying to. I think it's a fine line of trying to, I guess, WWE eyes it, but also bringing a light to Lucha Libre and someone that, you know, I'm hoping I'm not the only one that people are trying to immerse themselves in it. So again, they're walking this fine line, and I still want them to stick obviously to more tradition, but obviously with, I think people were upset the War Raiders won, but like and then I like Phoenix with the belt. I think they had to give him something with Penta being a champion. But I think him and Lindsay Dorado, which I forgot was down there. I was like, wasn't he released? But again, it's bringing eyes and seeing different people. So hoping it leads to something good and positive. But if you haven't, go watch that match. I think everyone here probably watched that match. But that's my lipstick of the week.
My lipstick of the week is going to the MJF Roosh match on Dynamite.
So good.
It was really good. And for people bitching about MJF defending the title, and where's the story on why Roosh got a match? It, like my lecture just said, they put on an in-ring clinic for you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
And I mean, it sucks that MJF did hyperextend his knee.
Yeah.
You know, luckily, I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to make him vacate his title. But yeah, if you haven't seen that match, you need to go watch that match also.
Yeah, him coming out dressed like a matador. I think he's so good. Their match was so good.
So, what gets your lariat of the week?
The bloodline. Jacob kneeling made me so goddamn angry.
I thought I heard you yelling all the way down here in North Carolina from Jersey.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't. And I get, they try to be like, well, in front of my kids, I'm a man of my word. I'm like, I don't think you had to kneel. But then he kneeled, and then the commentary was like, neutered, on a leash, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no. I'm like, he had all this momentum going into Mania, beat Drew McIntyre at Mania, and then you immediately took him down because of Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he should have took that belt off Roman. I think that's more interesting. I think, again, you bring this person in that had all this hullabaloo about him on the indies. You bring him in, and then, like, getting over, but it's like, no, we don't want that. So now you will kneel for Roman Reigns because we're bringing back 2022, and I hate everything about this. Hate it. I can't say Roman Reigns. I hope Seth does beat the shit out of it in SummerSlam. I hope Jacob comes. Anybody, Danhausen can beat Roman Reigns. I will go and beat Roman Reigns. I will go to Minnesota and take him out because I can't. I hate it. Again, it was like, I can keep going on, but it's just like, he's so good. Why are you making him physically kneel to Roman Reigns? And he was just like, you don't know it yet, or you don't see it yet, but I love you. And I was like, the callback to he used to say that to Solo. I'm just like, we're just regressing, and I want things to go forward. And it was sad to see this just regress so hard.
What if this is all a swerve and Jacob lost to plant himself into the bloodline to kill the bloodline from within? Not that they could write that story, but I'm just saying.
I wouldn't be mad at it. Could they execute that? I don't know. But it's like, are they just because it was like the will they, won't they of like Jey Uso? Like, he's like, I don't want to be Roman. You're being a real Roman right now. And he's just like, Mah. And now it feels like, is that like going to be the Jacob thing now? And just like, I don't know. I feel like it was all over the place. And now we're just like back to square one.
I do agree. It's kind of rinse and repeat. So my Lariat of the week goes to Dominic Mysterio winning his King of the Ring match. Why? If he beats Oba, I'm sorry, I will have a rant on WWE.
I think the only way he beats Oba if Brock interferes.
Did you really think Brock's gonna fly overseas to interfere in one match?
Money talks, babe.
I don't think they're gonna pay him that much money to do that.
No, I think Oba's gonna win. I'm not mad at. I think because you had to feed someone to Oba, and I think Dom can take it at this point. Like, you didn't want it to be Breaker, you didn't want it to be Trek. Like, maybe Damian Priest, but I think all the callbacks to the Judgment Day stuff made sense for Dom to go over, and then he can just sell like crazy for Oba.
Oh, that was my Lariat of the week. I just didn't understand why they let him win. Because if we end up with him winning King of the Ring and Liv winning Queen of the Ring, I think I might actually throw something at my TV.
Do you love it? Again, my it's dash for me for the Owen, because I was like, oh, Ospreay, Windsor, and then it's like, nope, not happening. And I was like, oh, maybe we can get, Dom Liv. I think it makes no sense for Liv Morgan to win it, but I wouldn't be mad at Dom, but I just think there's too much for him to get there.
So we're going to move on to our main event. So do we have any highlights from this week's show that deserve a main event spotlight? Well, Raw was bad again. SmackDown was bad again. However, on SmackDown, I am sick of freaking Sami Zayn trying to insert himself into shit where he don't belong.
Nope.
He does not belong in the feud between Gunther and Cody. And I am afraid we are going to end up with a three-way at SummerSlam.
Yeah. What stipulation do you think Gunther's going to have for the match in KC?
I have no idea.
I was thinking maybe a submission match.
Maybe a no disqualification.
I mean, I know. Sammy's getting, I don't know. Just put it with a tag team with Gargano.
That's what I say. And let them go chase the belts from Priest and R-Truth.
Yeah.
Or whoever has the belts. Also on SmackDown, we seen Raquel win. I was actually rooting for Bayley. Bayley, do not re-sign on the dotted line when your contract is up, girl.
No, girl, run. Run to AEW as quick as your feet can go. Yeah, no, I think Bayley Io would have been the better match.
Mm-hmm.
But like, is this more bloodline judgment again? More factions that just need to die at this point. Like, is this just to have the tension between Raquel and Liv? Which I want more out of this tournament than that. Like, that's a feud in itself. You don't need this tournament to do that.
Exactly. And my last thing on SmackDown, enough of Cody Rhodes. He sucks.
But he's easy to find, hard to beat. I want CM Punk back and take the belt off him. That's what I want at SummerSlam.
I've heard through the rumor mill that a one Mr. CM Punk might re-sign with AEW when his contract's up.
No.
Hmm.
He doesn't need the money.
Does he though? My sources are saying there is a chance that could happen. I hope it doesn't, because AEW is a lot better without him, even though he is a draw, even though he sucks.
Again, him going back to WWE, we were all like, that's his shirt, like hell froze over. Like, that'd be wild. But
I mean, technically, the only big last match he has left in WWE would be a Cody match.
I know.
And I don't see him retiring. I would give it probably a 20% chance he would go back to AEW.
When's his contract up?
I think maybe the end of this year, like November-ish.
Definitely around, obviously, Survivor Series. That would be wild. But at least now he can take the belt off Cody in the meanwhile.
Maybe. So, Dynamite was okay. I understand why they put Kevin Knight with Don Callis, because he still needs to work on his promos, and Callis is very good at speaking when he can keep his teeth in his mouth. The Ospreay Davis match was good. I was just not a fan of the finish with all the run-ins, but I understood it.
Yeah.
We got the return of one CEO, Mercedes Moné, which I think is just what that women's division needed, because now Thekla does not have to carry that division on her own.
Agreed. I mean, like, I'm not a huge Mercedes fan, but I get it. What are you doing? 2 seconds. Jackson's having a meltdown.
I also thought Tekla's taking heat on spitting on the Stardom logo on the Tron. Was it gross? Yes, but it was so good.
Yeah.
And I actually thought when they pulled the letter out that there's going to be like a spray paint can and she's going to put an X over their logo.
Yeah. I was like, is she saying that she wants to have a ladder match at Forbidden Door? Like, I wasn't sure what she was doing. And then I was like, oh, she just wanted to spit on the logo. Seemed like a lot of work to do that.
I don't know, but if they put her in a match against somebody from Stardom, she's going to beat the ever-living hell out of them.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Was there anything from any of the shows that I didn't cover that you want to cover, Miss Nikki?
I don't think so. Again, I was shout out to MJF's attire, dressing up like the Matador. Loved that. Again, that match was so good. I think Briscoe's promo was really good. Trying to get the match back with MJF, and MJF in a tub saying no was great. Again, SmackDown was whatever. I did not love the. Again, I hate cheating on the ladies. I do, but I didn't love, like, we didn't need Charlotte and Tiffy to tag team, and for Tiffy to take the pin made me very upset. I hate when the champion takes the pin of a non-championship match. Like, to me, that we didn't need that match. You could have just had, I guess, you could have just done Charlotte Meechin again. I think they're probably saving Jade Charlotte for probably a pay-per-view or Saturday Night's Main Event somewhere. But I'm like, I hated Tiffy taking that loss. So.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to give Charlotte a mid-card title, so.
Yeah.
There was really no reason for her and Tiffany to be teaming up.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, I don't like you, and my bestie's not here, so I guess you'll do. And I was like, I know you had like this crazy, I don't want to say blood feud, but like a kind of a real feud. And now it's just like, oh, Alexa's not here, so I'll tag with another blonde. I'm like,
the blonde bombshells. Well, now that we have finished up with our main event, it is time for fan interaction. So get your questions in for our ringside fan turnbuckle segment. And also, I wanted to address one question, I think it was, or not a question, but a statement where Chester said that he thought MJF and Rush should have closed out Dynamite. Then that would have been dumb if you still did the same ending in the Ospreay Davis match. Your title does not have to close your show. Your world title does not have to main event your show every time.
True. I do love it closing, but it made sense for MJF to open, because then you had the everyone calling him out, like Jet, you had
Briscoe,
Mark Briscoe, then wasn't there somebody else that said something? But then he had his promo in the bathtub with Renee. Like, it made sense for that to go first and then have all the little bits after it. And again, if you're having this sort of like big schmaz sort of thing, and I think they are trying to push Ospreay as MJF's opponent, so it made sense for that to be main. I think here it makes sense, but I sort of agree that I like my champion to be on last, but I think in this case it made sense that they opened.
All right, if y'all don't get your questions in, we're going to end the show. What is the most predictable part of wrestling for you both right now? The most predictable part? You already know who's going to win when they say wrestler A is fighting wrestler B.
Yeah.
Especially in WWE, you pretty much already know who's going to win. They're not going to pull an upset. And, like, especially if it's a title match, they're not going to pull an upset and, like, take the belt off of Cody and give it to some mid-carder. You know, like Dragunov.
Even though I would love it. Again, I think that the predictability of it right now, and I miss,
Andrade was the other one that called MJF out.
Okay. But I'm waiting for him to leave Don Callis too. I feel like he doesn't like fit in that stable anymore. He feels more like, I don't want to say babyface. I don't want to be Nick. But he feels like he's not fitting that mold right now.
Does Brock cost Oba to set up a third match? I don't think he has to cost Oba to set up a third match. I think they're gonna do a third match regardless.
I think we all know it's going to be,
because it's 1-1, so you know somebody's got to win the rubber match.
I agree with you, but we're talking about WWE booking. He's gonna do something to screw over Oba. Whether if he flies out to, or it's going to be the Saudi match, or he's going to go to the final, and then again, Brock is going to get a lot of money to go to Saudi, and then cost him there. I agree with you. It doesn't need something, but it's WWE. There is going to be a thing to get you to SummerSlam.
I agree. What now for Steve Macklin? I think Macklin should go to the Indies. He goes to AEW. I think he's just going to get lost and probably put in the Callis family.
He's going to be a heel, be in the Callis family.
Unless he decides to go and just be strictly ROH.
I think it makes sense. Like, I know, like, that's where Gianna is. Like, but I agree with you.
Oh, you mean that overrated women's champion belt holder they have in ROH?
Reese, cover your ears. Again, it makes sense to go there. I just honestly, I think he'll get lost in the shuffle in AEW and WWE, so he's got to do something different.
I think he would serve better on the Indies. All right. What do we got next? Best promo in wrestling for 2026 so far, and best in-ring wrestler?
Oh.
I don't know. Best promo. It would have to be an MJF promo. And best in-ring wrestler? I'd probably have to go Ospreay right now. Either him or Takeshita.
I don't know why I feel like I'm trying to think of a promo, and I feel like I don't remember any promo that ever happened in the history of promos. But again, it would have to be probably MJF. I mean, who's your best talker? It's MJF right now.
Either him or Tekla. I forgot about her, but yeah, she's given some good promos so far.
Yeah. I don't know. Does she get not dinged, but I feel like her promos are very short. Like what, I would say 2-3 minutes, when I feel like the boys get like longer, promos. I
think she can get to the point.
Yeah.
Like that used to be one of my problems in undergrad school, is like, I can make my point in 3 pages, but you're telling me I got to have 10. So then you just want me to fill it with BS stuff that you're going to dock me for.
Yeah.
When I could have made my point in 3.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like one of the first Punk promos on Roman, I feel like I really liked, and then that went downhill, but then the match was great. So I don't know. I can't think of any like promos right now.
All right. Next question. If you could do the perfect impression of any wrestler, who would it be? Macho Man, Andre, Jesse the Body Ventura, Hulk Hogan, or Ric Flair?
Did you just watch Dan Soder and Will Sasso on Chris Van Fleet's show? Because that's all that it was, like an hour and a half of the two of them just doing wrestling impressions.
Oh Lord.
And I love Dan Soder so much, a hysterical comedian, and he does a great Andre impression. I could not do any of these.
I can't either. I mean, I can go woo, but that's about it.
It makes me like Princess Bride, one of my favorite movies. Steven quoted it on Friday. Nick had no idea what it was. But that's all I think. It was like, anybody want a peanut? Just like, I don't know. I'm terrible at this.
Okie dokie. I cannot get over doing a Hogan impression while wearing Savage clothing. Alrighty. Well, if that is all for our question segment, then we are going to go ahead and exit and end episode 13. But before we do, we got to do our regular plugs. So we will see y'all next Sunday at 3:30. Also, make sure you check out themidpodcast.com. Make sure you follow the YouTube, the Mid Podcast 6436. And Nikki, where can they find you?
They can find me and my hot husband at Nick Teodoro on YouTube. We are the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. Join us on Fridays at 6 where we drink and talk shit on each other and pro wrestling.
And if you want to upset her husband, tell him that it's okay for a heel versus heel.
Don't break his brain.
It won't make. I can just picture like the emoji with the brain explosion. That's Nick. If a heel versus
100%.
heel's in the ring, that's Nick.
1,000%.
He's like, no, Nikki, turn this off. I cannot watch this.
Oh, just watch the match.
Also, make sure you like and subscribe to the show on the weekly Steel Chair, because if you don't, Nikki could hit you with a lariat. And I could be that sexist friend that you always needed in your life. So, until next time, we will see you later.
Bye.